Hey guys, welcome to my newest video, which is going to be on, you've read the title, how to customize Windows and make your desktop match you. So, let's just jump right into it. So, let's start with the taskbar. Here are all the default apps pinned to the taskbar, and here's just my recorder. So, then we can actually hide the task view, which is like history if you don't use it. If you don't use Cortana, you can hide that. And for the search, we can change it to a search icon, or who needs the search icon? We can just click the Windows key and search for whatever we want. So, we don't need search. I think we've established that. So, search hidden. Okay, now we got rid of search, and now we can start customizing our taskbar. So, I bet you don't use Edge as your default browser, so click the Windows, search for your default browser. I'll show you how to set browsers as default. So you can just take a browser that you use mainly. In this example, I'm going to use Firefox. So we can put it there and unpin Edge from our taskbar. So we've got that done. And now if we use a mail app that's not mail for Windows 10, we can pin that there. Or if you just use a web browser for your mail, you can get rid of this mail for Windows 10. So I recommend you keep the Microsoft Store in there. And one thing that may be useful for you to pin to your taskbar is another app or software you use often. So in this case, I'm going to use Zoom. I bet you guys know what Zoom is. So I can pin it to my taskbar and I'll just drag it over there, and there we go. Now, you might have noticed our taskbar doesn't look that good right now. We need to center it. So create a dummy file. In this case, I've already created a dummy file. Just call it a number. I called mine 1. And put it anywhere except your desktop. Except your desktop. So then what you do is right click on your taskbar, go to toolbars, go to new toolbar. Oops, where did it go? Okay. For some reason I can't find my thing. So what we can do is just go to the file we want to go to. My file. Oh, here's the file that I would like to use. So just in case you want to create one here, you can just right click, go to new, and go to folder. I've named my folder 1. So select that, select folder, and it's pinned. And now you unlock the taskbar, so you can do this stuff, but we don't want to do that stuff. Place it at the bottom. And now you have to take this and squish the icons. And then move the icons to what is about the center. About. And keep in mind that the taskbar icons don't actually stay here, but they go to this line. So mainly, I think you only have one app other than these ones that are on the taskbar open. Some people have 2 or 3 or even 4. So I usually have one app like that. So what I want to do is put it like there and lock the taskbar. So what you're supposed to do with 1 now is, unlock the taskbar. I'm just gonna fix this. And with 1, you have to right click, unlock show title, and undo show text, and then it's missing, and then lock the taskbar. Now our taskbar icons are centered. Also, you can drag and drop your battery, your internet, and any applications that you have down here into this. For example, I can take my battery and put that in there, but in this case, I don't want to do that, so I'll leave my battery there. I recommend you keep battery and Wi-Fi there, and if you're a guy who's really wanting to make sure you're secure, you can drag and drop your microphone into here too, so you know which apps are using your microphone. And video one, there are video ones of those too, but I'm not like that. I'll just keep it like this. And my icons aren't quite centered, so I'll just center them a little. Oh, luck. Okay, that's better. So, now we've got our taskbar over with. It looks amazing. So now let's move on to our desktop. So, as I said, you probably don't use Microsoft Edge as your default browser, but if you do, just keep all the icons there. But if you don't, you can delete Microsoft Edge by selecting it and do a Shift Delete. Shift also has pause written on it, and permanently delete the shortcut. And then take your default browser, open file location, Firefox, right click, and create shortcut. And sometimes this happens, and sometimes it just creates a shortcut in its location. If it creates a shortcut in its location, a 1 will appear beside that, so just drag it to the desktop and remove that 1. So I've got it pretty good here. If you have any files, you can add them to your desktop. It just makes your desktop look kind of more professional. So, we've done that, and I was saying that I was going to show you how to put apps as default apps. So, I'm going to show you that right now. It's in settings. So, search up for default apps in your search place. Open it up, it's in settings, and you can change all of these. My default web browser is going to be Firefox. Switch anyways. Video player, let's switch to VLC video player. Music player, let's go VLC. And maps, do I have any other map apps? No. Email? Oh, just web browsers for email and Microsoft Outlook. So, we've done that. If you want to switch back to the Microsoft recommended ones, you can press reset. So, we've done that, and now let's change our desktop background. So, right click and go to personalize. And then you can change your background. I recommend this one if you're more of a dark mode user and you're a minimalist. And I also have one if you're a light mode minimalist. I'll link that in the description below. I'm more of a dark mode minimalist, so I'll keep that for now. And sometimes the backgrounds don't match don't match the size that you want. For example, I'm on a 1920 by 1080 screen, but this wallpaper is actually 4K. So what I did is, in choose a fit, I chose fill. So that's good. And now we can go to colors, which chooses your accent color and your default Windows mode and your default app mode. So if you're a dark mode user, you can change this to dark. If you're a light mode user, you can change this to light. If you're a light mode user, do this light. If you're a dark mode, do this dark. If you want the two to be different ones, go to custom. I personally like app mode light, Windows mode dark. So we've done that, we've gone over that, and now we're gonna go over something down here. It's called accent color. So what it does is, as you might see, these volume things are blue, and this on the side is blue. It's just lots of blue. And so you can change your accent color. My favorite is an orange. So then you'll see when it changes, this is orange and volume is orange. Many other things are going to turn from blue to orange. So the accent color is pretty cool. If you don't want a color on this palette, you can go to custom color and choose whichever color you want from here. So, my color might be hard to read. It's not hard to read for me. So, that's good. And we can also do lock screen. We can make it a picture, a slideshow, or even a Windows spotlight. I like it to be picture, and I like this minimalist wallpaper. You can also choose whichever one you like. I personally like this one the best. I think minimalists everywhere love this lock screen wallpaper. So you can get fun facts and tips from Windows and Cortana on your lock screen. I turn that on, and you can choose one app, just one, to show detailed status, and up to 7 different apps to show quick status. So in total, you can show the status of 8 apps, which is cool. So you can show the lock screen background picture on the sign-in screen, which basically takes the lock screen background and blurs it. But I think what happens if you uncheck that is, when you click it to sign in, the lock screen will the background of the lock screen will turn black. I think that's how it works. So there's also this thing called themes. My current theme is custom, and you can save the theme, or you can download all these themes from the Microsoft Store. So there are a lot of themes in the Microsoft Store. There's Beauty of China, Pride 2020, Xbox Series X. I kind of like that, so I've downloaded it. And if you're like a gamer, you can download that. I recommend that for gamers. There are monsoons, Colors of Holy, Trains on Bridges, Panda Bears, National Geographic Underwater, Panoramic Cityscapes, Classic Cars. There's a lot of this. Best of Big 2018. There's Snowy Mountains. This one looks like a Mac wallpaper. So there's all of these things, all the way from cartoons to realistic to Xbox to PC to about everything. So yeah, we have that. So I also want to show you how to change your mouse cursor. So in themes, go to mouse cursor, and then you can choose which mouse cursor you want here. You can do this one, or 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 this one even. But I like this one. And I also like to do in, where is it? Windows Inverted System Scheme. and you'll see what happens. So when I'm on white, it turns black, but when I'm on black, it turns white, and when I'm on blue, it turns orange. So it's basically the opposite color of what your mouse is on. So figure out which one you like, and you might also see there are different windows inverted, different defaults, different black, different magnifieds, different standards. So that's because you can choose from large, extra large, and normal. So I like to do normal, or you can use the default one, or you can browse. I just like keeping this one. This is my favorite. So oops, I want sounds. So then you can get fonts from the Microsoft Store. There's all these fonts. I don't recommend buying the ones that are paid. I personally think it's not worth it because you can just find those font packs in the other fonts. Look, because this font that's making Halloween, you can get, oh man, they turn so many free fonts to paid. Well, so in the Halloween font pack, you can get ink journal for that Halloween, and then for the font pack part, you can get convection, and for the 10 spook fonts part, you can get the Arial Nova. So as you can see, paid fonts ain't worth it. So you can also drag and drop files from the File Explorer or your desktop and drop them here to install the fonts. So you can choose whichever font you like. They're awesome on say said. So you can also mess with your start menu. You can show more tiles in start, show the app list, show recently added, show most used, use start in full screen, you show recently opened items. Use start in full screen. Well, that makes start menu like that big. So show suggestions. Oops. Let's okay, show suggestions. Occasionally it will show you suggestions for windows in the start. But I think that only works when you're in the app list. So if you don't check mark this, the app list will be on your left, right there. So I'm going to go ahead and check mark this. I want to show more tiles, and I want to show most used. That's good. And now let's go to the taskbar. You lock the taskbar, okay. Automatically hide it in desktop mode, then this will happen. And you have to do this to get back your taskbar. So let's get this out. And small taskbar buttons, I don't recommend this, but if you'd like to do it, fine. It goes super small. And which reminds me of this thing on your desktop. Right click and then you can view, and you can change it from large icons that big to medium icons that big to small icons which are that small. And you can auto arrange icons, align them to a grid, and you can hide them, which makes your desktop look even better. But I like one or two icons in my desktop, so I want to keep those. So you can change your location on screen, and you can combine taskbar buttons. So if you do never, that will happen, and it will show the names of the open apps. And so you can get these tips from Windows. And which reminds me, in themes, you can go to desktop icon settings, and you can change these settings. So you can show the computer, this PC, you can show the control panel, you can show the users, files, and the networks. I don't want the networks, I don't want the user files, I don't want this PC, and I don't want the control panel. All I want is the recycle bin. And you can change the icon of something. For example, click the recycle bin and change icon. And you got all the default Windows icons for changing icons. So you can just look around. Ooh, which one of them will be great for recycle bin? You can just go around like that, try to find something good. Maybe you want this, and the X to symbolize it's empty. Or maybe you wouldn't want that because it makes your recycle bin seem like it's not working. And this PC, let me show you some favorites of mine to change it to. So sometimes I like that one that I highlighted over here, or sometimes I like this one, it's a moon shape. Sometimes I like the default one. Sometimes I like this one, sometimes I like this one. Or maybe I even use this one, which is cool. And sometimes I even use this one, which looks like a computer and a screen of it. And then I even use this one, but I'm just gonna leave it with the default one for now. So, okay. You can also allow themes to change the desktop icons, which is really cool. And so we've done that, and I like to occasionally save my theme. So what you do to save your theme is click Save Theme, and you can name it, and then you can save your theme and it will appear up here. I'm just not going to save my theme for now. So, all that's really cool, but one last thing that I want to show you is how can you change your desktop icons. Like these icons down here in the taskbar are pretty boring, and these are pretty boring. So what you can do is fire up your browser and enter this address called icoconverter.com. So for this, there are no scams, no nothing. So you can just select all of these and browse for a file and select that file and choose this one and convert it. There's no scams in this, no scams, no nothing, no scams, and no nothings. They won't scam you, they won't steal your personal files. They're just trying to help you out to get better desktop icons. Seriously, if you don't believe me about them not scamming you, go out on YouTube, see how many videos there are on ICO Converter, and see how many videos have ICO Converter on them. Then maybe you will finally believe me. So, then after you've got your ICO file, you can go to File Explorer. Not File Explorer. Search for the one that you want to change to. In this case, I'm showing you Firefox. You can open File Location. So there's our Firefox, and you can go Properties, and you can change the icon. Mozilla has given you these different icons already. So, or you can browse and find your ICO file from ICO Converter. It gives you the option of ICO, ICL, EXE, and DLL. So sometimes it takes a restart for them to work. Sometimes it takes them an unpin and repin for them to work. Sometimes it takes them a delete and re-put them for the desktop. But it does work. So that's all that I had to show you for this video. Come back and like my videos and subscribe to my channel so you don't, and ring the notifications bell so you don't miss out on a video, and I'll see you next time.